My name is Sammy Norman. I'm 55 years old. I've been blind. I have diagnosed with glaucoma 15 years ago. I've actually been totally blacked out for the last 12 years. The challenge that I was faced with was having a child who had this form of autism, couldn't speak, and I couldn't see him to do the things that was needed to be done to care for him.
So there was no positive flow of communication in any way, shape, or form. Sammy would ask questions, but Sampson couldn't answer questions.
If he was in need of something, I couldn't tell what he was in need of, if he was in pain, if he got hurt, any of that. These are just some of the challenges that we faced. And I say we because it was just as much a challenge for my son as it was for me. I had went out on the back deck to take some trash out, and my son had walked out with me. It was about to rain, and I told him, I said, man, go ahead and go back in the house. Daddy will be in a minute. And I took the trash out and came back, and I started calling him. You know, I mean, this was like just in a matter of seconds, you know, and I was calling him, and I was like, Sampson, and I didn't get any answer. Now I'm in a panic. I'm outside, I'm screaming, there was no answer. I called the manager of the apartment. I said, man, my son is missing. I had already called the police. As a matter of fact, I was running around with the police on the phone. They came to the house. They went to the bedroom, to the hallway, to the living room, to the kitchen, to the bathroom. They went through the whole house. When they didn't find him, they were about to set the Amber Alert, and then he turned around and he said, well, whose little boy is that over there? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, the little guy sitting in that chair right there. Sampson was sitting in my easy chair with the blanket over his head. He heard me, but I don't think he really could respond. I guess he didn't know what I was saying, and he just sat there and went to sleep, you know? But I was screaming. That is the most frightening thing for any blind parent in the world. If you really love your child, for that child to come up missing and you don't know which way to go.
I did an evaluation of Sampson's communication skills. He was very pleasant, he smiled a lot, but he was very mime-like. He would point to things and jump around, but there was very little words. My job in the situation was to not only teach Sampson sign language, but to teach Sampson the sign, and then for him to be able to tactfully put it into his father's hands to show him what he needed.
She had to teach him not only to learn this stuff himself, but in true fashion, he had to teach me. You see what I'm saying? If he wanted something, if he wanted an orange, he had to take this hand, put it on top of this hand, and then make the motion.
The interaction between the two of them was very, very loving, very sweet, but very ineffective.
We weren't communicating. We just weren't. You know, we were just surviving.
During my assessment, I taught Sampson 5 signs, and the verbal words to go with the signs. When he learned the sign, he immediately could say the word. Some words were clearer than others, but he had a verbal word to go with each sign. My sessions are weekly, so I came back a week later, and he had remembered all 5 signs. And not only had he remembered them, he had been using them functionally. So each session, I would talk to Sammy and find out what signs he needed to help communicate with Sampson that were urgent needs. And we would work on those signs. And we would give him the verbal word to go with the sign. And that's all it took.
I know I may have promised that I wouldn't do this, but there's this one instructor who just came into our little lives, taught my son how to speak, taught him colors, taught him how to count. She did it with Skittles, cookies, and donuts. I sat there and gained 20 pounds. My son learned how to count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. Very good.
Sampson's ability to communicate after just a few months in the program changed Sammy and Sampson's relationship completely. The two of them could have that true, genuine father-son, joking around, teasing each other, father-son relationship.
She gave him the joy of communication, the joy of counting, spelling, color recognition. You know, Sampson had the learning tools before he ever hit school, thanks to Miss Moore, and thanks to Goodwill Easter Seal.
The first time I met Sampson, he came in and he was very sweet, and just his eyes just lit up. Academically, if I worked with him one-on-one, he knew some stuff. He knew some of his letters and sounds. The growth that I've seen this year, the fact that his speech is so much better, the fact that he is starting to follow directions better, that's success.
With the right teaching methods and the right interventions, I think Sampson will grow up to be a very happy and healthy young man.
This is the love God gave us. This is what He gave us. You know, how could you sit here and hold something on your leg in your life like this and not see the glory in it, and not see the God in it, and not see the love in it? This is a beautiful package right here. This is my gift. And Goodwill Easter Seals helped me with that gift. They helped me to communicate with my son.
SAMPSON.
Very, very good.